Welcome to New Stripe City, your YouTube channel for diehard Bengals fans. I'm your host, Ace Boogie. If you're new here, love the Bengals, be sure to subscribe. Please leave a like on this video because it was painful to have to watch these Squealer games. And the only reason that I had to watch them is because I'm bringing you the Bengals versus Squealers scouting report. So as you guys know, I always do a scouting report every week. I give you a breakdown of the other team. So I'll start with that now. The Bengals and Steelers will meet for the first time this season. Pittsburgh has moved on from their former offensive coordinator Todd Haley after having a shaky relationship with Ben Roethlisberger, and Le'Veon Bell's holdout has been the focus of the season, but they still come in at 2-2-1. Well, and this is possibly, I think, for both teams, maybe the most important game of the season. So starting things out, when you look at the Steelers' offense, their offense passes a lot. Even when they were up 30-7 against the Buccaneers, they kept passing. And Ben has turned the ball over a lot this season, so much that he's thrown an interception in almost every game except one. But he's still playing solid despite the 6 total interceptions. I think that the defensive line will have opportunities for sacks and interceptions. They just have to make them count. He's also been using his legs a lot more this season, so the Bengals will have to watch out for him breaking loose after plays. And he's graded right now on PFF as a 59.1. The offensive line has opened up running lanes for them, and they've done a decent job of protecting Ben, but they have had some holes poked in their pass protection. And when you look at the line, they have Villanueva at the left tackle who's playing pretty good. Foster is playing good. Pouncey surprisingly is having kind of an average season. DeCastro has still played pretty good, and Gilbert has played there. I think DeCastro has been in and out of the lineup with some injuries. But they're all together a pretty solid unit that should be able to contend with our defensive line. When you look at the running back position, James Conner is a threat not only on the ground, but a lot of it has also come through the passing game. And I think that he's been one of the key ingredients in their 2 wins that they have this year. So I think that the Bengals will definitely have to try to contain him, not only in the running game, but also with him catching the ball out of the backfield, which he's done a lot of this season. But the one weakness with Conner and the one thing that they could try to exploit is that he will fumble the ball if the Bengals try to pry the ball away from him. He seemed to have some kind of issues with ball security. Now, when we jump to the receiving game, Juju Smith-Schuster, to me, has kind of jumped out of the gates, and he's looked like their best receiver. But AB has been coming on these last few games, and to be completely honest, I really feel like Juju is having the better season and that he's shown more chemistry with Ben Roethlisberger than AB has. He's been peppered with targets this year, but other guys to look out for are Ryan Switzer and James Washington. And this Pittsburgh receiving core is actually pretty deep. Another thing that really stood out to me this year was the tight end position. And it seems like this year the new offensive coordinator has just been really involved with including the tight end here. And Jesse James, believe it or not, has been a really good tight end for them this year, along with Vance McDonald. Can't believe I'm saying good things about the Squealers. But this is the first time that I can really recall them having a respectable dual tight end threat that they have. And that's a sore spot for our defense. So our linebackers and safeties will have to be alert. Now we get to the defense. Believe it or not, they actually have a lot in common in terms of the principles of their defense as we do. And this defense also thrives off of creating turnovers. I can't say that enough. They really do a lot in the turnover game. The new linebacker, John Bostic, has played well in place of Ryan Shazier, and their pass rush is also dangerous and could give the Bengals some issues. Bud Dupree will be one to watch, along with TJ Watt, who's tied with Geno Atkins for the league lead in sacks. And he could be a nightmare matchup for Bobby Hart. And Cameron Hayward is just Cameron Hayward. He's just blowing up the middle every play. In the secondary, though, Cameron Sutton and Artie Burns are nothing but liabilities, and the Bengals need to target either one of them when they're in. Artie Burns is just trash, bruh. And their defense is also susceptible to the tight end, just like ours. Uzomah could have a good day. And it also seems like any running backs that can catch out of the backfield have given them issues, which should bode well for Joe Mixon. And speedy receivers have also given them issues. So that could be a big game for John Ross, especially with him coming back from possibly an injury this week. And on special teams, their kicker is just pretty much trash. He's having issues. And if the Bengals can force them to field goals, I'm willing to bet that he'll at least miss one of them if he has to take one. So those are my thoughts so far. This is an important game for both teams. And let me know in the comments what you guys think. Your thoughts, Bengals and Squealers fans. I know y'all will be here too. But as usual, I'll leave you guys with a who day, all day, every day, and especially on Sunday.